Happy Monday, everyone. Happy President's Day, by the way, for all of those who celebrate. Not really sure how you can celebrate President's Day, but it is a holiday. We are celebrating presidents. In that fashion, welcome to Plug Talk Sports episode 128. The gang is on. Myself, Danny. We got Jonka, and we've got Brandon rocking that University of Florida shirt. I like it. It's nice. I know Jonka is not a fond person of the University of Florida. That's okay. I support you, Brandon. That's all that counts.
Hey, they're doing really good in basketball right now. So,
hey, man. First time ring since 2021. The golden era is coming around, man. It's coming around.
And you will be even better to the golden era if you are a part of it.
Yeah, might be even see me March Madness.
That would be. I would want nothing more. I will tune into every game if that happens. Even if you're on the sidelines, I'll tune in just to watch you on the sidelines.
You better hook it up with some tickets.
I didn't go that far, Brandon. I was just more.
Hey, I mean, you know, if there's a way, I'll try to get us on the court.
Maybe some. We'll bring Flanagan's.
There, hey, that's enough for entry. That's enough for entry. Bring me a little bit of Flanagan ribs. Give me a little bit of that sweet potato fries. That's enough for me.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I had their sweet potato fries the other day. I'm not gonna lie. It's underrated.
Sweet potato fries in general are underrated.
I agree with you.
That's a top tier fry.
I agree with you. I'm not sure, Jonka. I don't know if Jonka likes sweet potato fries.
I do.
Okay. Hey,
yo, we're all in connection here. That's good.
They're pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyways, we're gonna go into our shameless plugs and plugs of the week. We'll do good first this time. So, Jonka, tell me something good. I know it was your birthday yesterday. This guy, I walked into Jonka's house and this guy I thought it was Christmas all over again. The amount of stuff.
Oh,
I was like, this guy, bro.
Yeah, it was my birthday. Your boy turned 26. You know, getting pretty young there. Thank you everybody. Thank you to everybody that said happy birthday to me. That same day I went to God's Soul at the Miami Airport Convention Center. Really cool. I recommend you guys go. A lot of resellers. If you like sneakers, and if you're like those like resale people, whatever. But I got some new shoes, some Miami Hurricane dunks. Daniel gave me a gift card.
Yeah.
What else?
You're welcome.
I got an Erling Haaland Year of the Dragon jersey. Daniel had it on yesterday.
I did. It was actually very nice. I decided to jack it and make it mine.
I got some sports cards. If you know me, I like sports cards. I got some an F1 shirt from my shopping spree at Dolphin Mall.
Don't worry, guys. We're halfway there. We started with Brandon last week. We're gonna get him there.
And then my mom made me food, and everybody else just gave me cash. But I'm grateful for everything I got yesterday, and we're moving forward.
Next thing you know, he's going to blow all the cash in a casino in Las Vegas.
I can't do that.
All right. Brandon, what's something good you can talk to us about?
I actually had a few things that happened that are pretty good. Of course, for those who know, Valentine's was last Wednesday. So
yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Wait.
Where is this going?
No, I mean, no, it's not really going anywhere. But I'm just saying, had a Valentine. We went thrift shopping, right? I got cool jackets, right? Cool stuff. But that wasn't the only thing I got on Valentine's. I also got.
Oh, come on.
Hold on.
Don't lead us off like that.
You got a Tatum jersey.
No, even better yet.
Ooh, the Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphin dunks that people were talking about was going to come in the spring of 2024. It came sooner than I thought, so I was able to get off the newest paycheck on day shipping.
Make sure you don't wear them in the cold weather.
Oh, that's almost impossible.
They shrink under pressure.
It's already getting a little bumpy and whatnot. But besides that, though, yeah, I mean, not too bad, right? Going out, but definitely waited a whole year for these.
Yeah.
Whole year for these. When training camp comes around, you'll see me walking around with this.
Hey, man, listen. I don't know how I'm going to be able to top you guys. That was both of you guys. Like, that's a pretty damn good week. I'll tell you that, bro. Especially Brandon, bro. Woo, we got to ask more details about the specifics there, sir. Later on, off camera, we'll ask about the specifics.
Keep it sports. Keep it sports.
It's okay, bro. We know that you have a love story with Peyton Pritchard. It's okay.
I can't deny that. I can't deny that. I just love Oregon basketball. There's just something about it.
For me, it would have to be today. Funny story. I went to go play golf. You guys know I do enjoy playing golf. I went to go play golf with my barber. That makes it even better story. So, man, get you a barber that's cool enough to go out and play golf with you. But let me tell you, I got my butt whooped. Guy is a wizard. He has been playing. He's like, hey, you see that tree over there? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to whip the ball around and it's going to go spin right around the tree. I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, I'm like, he literally put it right where he said he was going to put the ball. I'm like, this guy's legit. But it was fun, man. The weather down here in South Florida, it was actually really nice today. And we had an 8:15 tee time. It was, this morning was beautiful to be out there on the course. So, that's for me, that's my plug of the week. I enjoyed a good round of golf with my barber. I was hoping if I won, I get a haircut, but
shout out to Grooming Barbershop.
Yeah, Grooming Barbershop, Alex the barber. I was looking for that free haircut if I won, but unfortunately, I got annihilated.
Yeah.
It happens. Shameless plug, Jonka, with something bad.
Something bad. Well, I mean, I guess I have one, but I mean, despite the season after, we all saw last March madness. The Hurricanes, they did pretty good, but they lost both their captains, Jordan Miller and Isaiah Wong. They're doing good in the NBA right now. Hopefully the futures are bright, but this season a lot of their starters have been getting injured, and now their starting point guard is out probably for the year, Nigel Pack, and then a whole bunch of other injuries the whole year. And now it looks like they're not going to make March Madness, which I'm okay with because they're not good enough this year anyways, because there's not enough good players. So I'm already accepting defeat and moving on till the end of the season. And hopefully anybody but the Gators, sorry, Brandon, and UConn wins the thing.
Don't okay, Brandon. I'm on your side, man.
I appreciate that. Hey, what I would say though, anyone but Purdue. But
I like what's his name? The big guy, Zayden.
Oh yeah, no Zach. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
because again, I don't know how he's gonna do in the NBA, right? So this might be his last chance to really do some, but just something about Purdue, just something about being a first round exit last year against FDU. Like, there's just something about them I just don't like. I don't think they deserve it.
I don't know about NCAA basketball this year. It just seems like for every time I see there's a new number one seed, and then within the week they lose and they're out, and it's another one. It's a whole circle of life.
For me, it's anyone but Miami. So,
well, it ain't gonna be Miami. You can tell. You can bet on it.
Guarantee.
Brandon, what's something bad?
Something bad that happens.
A pretty great week, bro. So
yeah, it has been good. You know what? Actually, there was something that bad happened. I was at work, and this was like the last hour at work. I ripped my favorite jeans. Kid you not. I ripped my jeans. It was the worst thing ever. I mean, again, I'm very truthful when I mean this, right?
Been doing too much squats.
Too much squats, man. I'm telling you, the thighs are getting ridiculous at this point. But yeah, I was just like picking something up, and I just hear a little tear, and it was like nothing crazy, right? And then I go home, and it gets worse, and it gets worse, when I'm trying to fix it. So, besides that, man, just that one little day where it's just like the back of my mind, man, the back of my mind.
His name to Brandon Kardashian. That's growing back there.
Yeah, I'm growing.
For me, I have one. I have two actually. I'm trying to decide which one I want to share. One of them is actually your brother, Giancarlo,
Oh my god.
for his comment yesterday. It was just honestly atrocious. Okay, I'll go with the other one. I won't share your brother's one. That one was just. We won't get into that. So I'm going to Disney this week for a friend's birthday, and I'm surprising her. We're going to a group of friends, but I'm surprising her. Jonka knows a little bit about this story. She thinks that we're eating. I hope she's not watching this, but she thinks that we're eating at Disney Springs, but we're not because I have something nice planned. So she literally texted me probably like 2 hours ago, and she's like, "Oh, if you haven't found the reservation, like Rainforest Cafe really reminds me of like my childhood." And I'm like, I thought about it too. I'm like, "Hey, bro, nothing is better than Rainforest Cafe. The part when it gets all dark and the rain, and the thunder starts going, and start hearing the gorillas howling. Like nothing gets more lit than that." But I didn't know what to say, so one of my friends was like, "Bro, just tell her, like, I don't know, come up with something that's going to keep her in the element of surprise." So I think she's going to hate me from now until Friday because she did tell me yesterday, "Hey, I trust you with your judgment of picking. I'm busy with school." So I was like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." So when I told her we're going to be eating at Planet Hollywood, she, yeah, man. She's like, "Yeah, it's not my favorite." I'm like, "It's okay. It's not my favorite either. It's the only place I had a reservation." So I think I can hold on to the hate till Friday until she's surprised. Hey, it's better than what my friend said. He was like, "Bro, just tell her we're going to Golden Corral." Bro.
Yeah, I don't
Hopefully
know.
she doesn't see the show tonight.
Yeah, hopefully she don't see it. I don't think she will, but hopefully she don't see it.
No, yeah. I mean, if anything, for me personally, like, I mean, a Jimmy Buffett doesn't really hurt at all.
Oh, a little Margaritaville?
A little Margaritaville. So there's always a backup plan.
It's always a backup plan, bro. Let's talk about NBA All-Star Weekend. I think out of this, we're ready, bro. Me and Jonka have been waiting for this day. Honestly, Jonka a little bit more than me. Jonka was literally telling me yesterday, "Bro, I can't wait for Monday night so I can really roast Brandon." That was his words yesterday. That was his words yesterday, Brandon, not mine. That was his.
I wasn't on the court. I wasn't in the state of Indiana. What's going on there?
I don't think, for my Jonka and myself, I think we can both agree that for us and the rest of the public, Brandon is part of the state of Massachusetts, which is probably the only state that enjoyed the All-Star game. They got to do something because this is probably the worst All-Star weekend I have seen probably in a long time. It was just awful.
I mean, honestly, I'm not going to say this was the worst All-Star weekend, right? Because the past 2 years were worse than this, though. I mean, the one in Utah and Atlanta, those are just not anything to smile about. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, I understand where this is coming from, right? I mean, everything from All-Star weekend is usually solely based on the Saturday night contest, whether that be the skills challenge, the 3-point contest, or, of course, the dunk contest, which I think is what we're kind of eyeing about. Which
Yes, absolutely.
But honestly, I don't even know anymore because the whole thing is about being competitive and how fun it is. I mean, there's been a lot of reports of like Anthony Edwards saying to the media the other day that they treat it as a break. It's not going to be a competitive type of mindset going into a break, especially for all the All-Stars out there. No one's trying to get hurt. No one's trying to get injured. But, I mean, specifically, though, I mean, I don't know what you guys want to talk about first, but, I mean, I'm all ears here, man. I got to take for every single event.
You heard that, bro? Jonka, go out. Hey, Jonka, please go at him first with a dunk contest. I'll let you get into that. He said he's got to take for every single event. So start with a dunk contest. Go at him, bro. Have at it.
Listen, I was listening to First Take this morning, and I agree somewhat that either they have to remove the dunk contest entirely. I think it was ruined. I think it's met its course, and it's died. And also agree with Stephen A. that I think it's LeBron's fault for him a player of his caliber when MJ did it, Dominique Wilkins did it, and a bunch of other players as big as him have done it. And LeBron comes into the league, the chosen one, the one that's super athletic, more athletic than MJ. All of a sudden, you know what? I'm going to decide the future of the NBA, the face of the NBA. I'm not going to do the dunk contest. I just don't feel it. And then since you represent the future of the NBA, anybody that comes after you is going to be like, nah, man, I just don't. I agree. What's the point? Now there's nobody that wants to do the dunk contest. That's why we got a G League Matt McClung. No offense to him, like he won. Good for him. But I was very disappointed. And don't even get me started on the most. Excuse the way I say it. The retarded judges that were on display on Saturday night. Okay. How Jaime Jaquez did a windmill over Shaq.
It was not a windmill.
Wait. Even though he pushed off a little bit off his shoulder, he still did like at least a half spin, a lap over Shaq. Who else? Mac McClung.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's Brett. Whoa. Okay, we lost you for a second.
A little internet, I guess, but
okay.
McClung dunked over two people, I think. Was it I think somebody else? But whatever.
It was.
And then I forgot the third one. Who was the third person? It was
Toppin.
Okay. Yeah, Toppin. He jumped over his brother, was it? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Word his brother's shoes.
But then somehow, some way, Jaylen Brown dunks over 5 foot Kai Cenat sitting down. That's 2.5 feet. But all of a sudden, that gets a bigger score than dunking over Shaq with a windmill. Make that make sense.
But that wasn't
no math adding up. No math.
Wasn't the whole thing. The thing about that specific, and I understand the hate for that. And what was that? His third dunk of the night, or maybe second dunk, whatever it was.
I think that was just
about that is the creativity part to it, right? Like, I'm gonna give you a good example. How many guys in the NBA dunk contest have jumped over a former NBA player? Shoot, we even had someone try to dunk over Taco Fall, for Christ's sake.
But how is someone sitting down in the chair creative?
We're talking about Jaylen Brown going above Kai Cenat, a streamer, while he's on live stream, being lobbed by Jason Tatum, and then he's trying to do the D Brown, like, close his eyes.
Yeah, but he did that when he was already on the floor.
Yeah, on the floor.
He didn't even do that in the middle. He didn't even do that midair.
But that's what I'm saying. The creativity behind it, though. That's what I'm saying. The creativity behind. I'm not saying it was a good dunk. All right, it's one of the weaker dunks of this All-Star weekend, right? I don't think it was a good dunk.
And then I think
Jaylen Brown, dunk that he started off with, that was a good dunk. That was a good dunk. That deserved.
Tell me that dunk was better than any of the other three.
Like you're talking about top 3 dunk?
Yes. Like the first round, it was Jaylen Brown by himself doing. I forgot what it was. It was him solo. Everybody else used a person. Where was the creativity there? All he did was the dunk.
Yeah, but it was a creative dunk because it was more. Was that a Dominique Wilkins one where he kind of like hatched back?
I think that was the first. Was the Dominique Wilkins one?
Yeah. So that one had a little bit of creativity, and again, one of the judges is Dominique Wilkins. But also I would say I think honestly I thought Opie's brother Toppin. I do apologize. I forgot the guy's first name. He's still in the Knicks, but Toppin's brother. I thought he had like a lot of hops. There was a lot of creativity out of it, but a lot of it was still like it was like his brother. You know what I mean? I think even his brother had the exact same dunks, like basically eye to eye. But McClung, the one that really got by McClung though,
the one that was he lets go of the ball midair and then grabs it again and then dunks it.
Yeah,
got a lesser score than Brown's.
Yeah, so that one I think it's also because it took his second try on that. And again, I'm not agreeing with the judges on that one. I really disagree.
Okay.
Because if we're going by tries, then why even have a clock
Yeah,
to it?
exactly. That's what I don't understand.
There is one Jalen didn't get his first try. I don't think he got points deducted for that.
Oh no, I think Jalen got his first try. It was the one with the Kai Cenat one where he wasn't able to get the first try. I think that was his second double.
Yeah, because it was Jason Tatum tossed the ball too high.
Yeah, first two, which was also another crazy thing too. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, for the dunk contest, well, I'll probably even put it in two parts here. I think from the dunk contest itself, I don't think it needs to be, reprimanded, right? I don't think it needs to be, taken away. I just think that expectations are just way too high as the game has evolved, especially dunk. I mean, when you look at 2016, Aaron Gordon sat 9 feet in the air and still lost that dunk contest against Zach LaVine.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, no matter how good a dunk is, there's always going to be someone that's going to be booing in the crowd. There's always going to be a judge that's not going to be looking at it because some of the guys like,
hey, this wasn't one person. This was a whole arena.
But the thing about that contest was that LaVine and Gordon were legit going back and forth in the final round. It was 50, 50, 50, 50. Like, you don't know what was happening next. Like, this dunk contest had no anticipation whatsoever. But I did not care for it at all.
This is my second point here. How did LaVine win that dunk contest? By just jumping from the free throw line in a different style each time.
And it wasn't even the free throw line. It was ahead of it.
His foot was on the damn line. He didn't even got close to it. So what I'm trying to say is people are just like, oh, but he did this, so he has to win. Now it's turning to, oh, he's jumping over these 7-foot guys. I mean, we've seen Taco Fall get jumped over. Shaq get jumped over. I think someone, maybe even one year, there might have been a Mutombo jump over. I might have missed it. You know what I mean? So I think so there's this expectation where solo dunks, where you have that type of artistry of athleticism in the air using skill, that's being undermined compared to someone dunking over a guy or a car or a vehicle or whatnot. Shout out Blake Griffin and Kia. No advertisement. But I'm saying though. So I think that, I mean, don't again, Jaquez, I knew he had ups. I didn't know it was like that over a 7-1 Shaq. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was impressive. I didn't think that, I don't think he should have been in the final, right? I thought it was really unique. But then you go to the second one, Mexican Heritage, which is really awesome to see, especially in the NBA.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but I mean, that was his hat was flying everywhere. And if anything, I mean, I know Kenny Smith was talking about it nonstop. I mean, the hair got more of my attention than the actual dunk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, shout out to Jaquez. But I just don't think, at the end of the day, I think it was a good final rounds. But again, this isn't the best dunk contest we've seen in the past decade.
Yeah.
I just don't know what they're gonna do with it. I mean, Stephen A had a good point. It's like, why don't certain NBA players, they go and sponsor a dunker from across the United States, and then whatever the player you sponsor, the person you sponsor, if they win the dunk contest and they go up against all the other players with their sponsor, and then they compete, because they're bro, I've seen these dunkers, bro. They're doing 360 under the leg, behind the back, and I'm like, bro, these guys are doing way better than these NBA players are, and like, why aren't they participating? And then the celebrity game, terrible, bro. I'm switching it up now because we'll be talking about dunk contests all damn day.
Hey, I actually wanted Sabrina to beat Steph.
Okay.
No,
I thought for Sabrina.
Yeah, honestly, but she did well though. I mean, 26 points.
I'm telling you, man.
That was stuff for the regular 3-point contest.
That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw she hit 26, I was like, damn, bro, she tied everybody.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I knew, it was like, I never doubted Steph for a second. Even though he missed those 2 3-pointers, I was just like, yeah, this guy's got it. Like, I never hesitated for a second. But that was just Steph. There's no shame in losing to Steph. But
once I saw her go through the first 2 racks, I was like,
bro. When she knocked down the first 8, I was like,
this is getting sus.
yo, Steph better be on its A game, bro.
And I'm telling you, man, Liberty legend though. I'm telling you, honestly, I think that she, out of all WNBA players, has the biggest impact in the NBA right now. From her shoes, which are comfortable as hell, look nice and everything like that, off white, and then also now this 3-point stuff. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? I'm going to even go a little bit further because I know someone mentioned about the celebrity game. Take away the WNBA in the celebrity game, have them on that Saturday skills challenge. Like skills challenge, dribbling and stuff like that, passing, all that against NBA. Could be like rising star NBA players, first pick, whatever you want. I think that'll be an interesting team.
Yeah.
I would like to see like the skills challenge based on your position. So bigs versus bigs, point guards versus point guards, and then we know who's the best big, who's the most skilled point guard, and we will all know who it is.
I was actually laughing so hard at Chuck was like, who the hell let Scotty Barnes in the skills challenge?
Bro, seriously, bro.
Man was losing his dribble.
I enjoyed the skills challenge in the base that it was in the Pacers because they were in Indianapolis, but against all the All Stars and then against the rookies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was that was something cool. I didn't like that they changed.
Wembanyama dribble was pretty interesting.
I didn't like the way they changed the targets. I like the way it used to be. They were way harder to hit. They were smaller.
Yeah.
I like the games though. Like they used, you can stand in the same spot with the passing. I enjoyed that. The court was good. I liked the court, but it was a bit too much at times with all the graphics and stuff and the movement. It was a bit too much to follow. I mean, but it was alright. It was alright.
Next year, I need same challenge. Curry against Caitlin Clark.
Bro. I'd like to see
That'll be fun.
and Sabrina at a one against one in the WNBA. I'd watch that WNBA game for sure.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
No,
the All-Star game itself.
Yeah,
people were saying there needs to be they need to change something up, or they need to do like NBA All-Star versus the World.
Yeah, the NBA All-Star versus the World. I'm not going to say it's a terrible idea, right? Because the international talent, but how many All-Stars are international All-Stars, right? Like Jamal Murray didn't even get selected in this one. So what I would say, because I know there's like the idea of competition in this, like there's more competition in a pickup at Chino Hills or you guys during the summer. I would do a whole, because I understand the charity aspect of it, but it's got to be also like a money aspect to it as well. Like you don't get like an additional bonus if you become an All-Star. You get an additional bonus winning the All-Star game for your team. I mean, I think that's the only way you can really try to at least, uplift that. Again, we're talking about millionaires and potential billionaires playing this game. But I think that might be the only way. Because as I mentioned before, to start off this segment, it's just, players come into this thinking it's a break. Not that it's competition. Not looking to get injured or anything like that. So, it's not like they're trying to get their game better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the only thing I can imagine for Adam Silver. But what I would say as well, I love the fact that it's gone back to that East versus West.
Yeah.
Pickup basketball idea. Terrible, especially before the game even starts. You get it before. Some of these guys know a little chemistry. Like, even the three-man weave between Luka Doncic and Jokic. Maybe not best thing of the night, but one of the best moments of the All-Star game, in my honest opinion.
I also think that it shouldn't have been Lillard. I think the MVP should have been Halliburton.
100%.
I mean,
hey, when you start off 4 for 4 from 30+ feet.
No, don't get me wrong. He's going crazy, though. I'm not going to lie. He's going crazy with that weird-ass form. You know what? I'm even going to go a little step further. I was thinking, because I remember looking at it, Karl-Anthony Towns was having a fantastic night.
Oh, yeah.
Game, but you might hate me on this, right? But hear me out.
Bam?
Kai Cenat had more points in the celebrity game than Bam Adebayo that day.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bam being one of only a handful of guys from the Miami Heat to be a starter, NBA All-Star starter. But Jaylen Brown, man, let's just look at the stats here. Over 65% from the floor, 36 points, second best on the team. I mean, we're talking about he had a good one, man. He had a good one. Now, don't be wrong. Damian Lillard, half court. Can't beat that. Damian Lillard going crazy, 39. If you ask me, I think it was between that of Karl-Anthony Towns, Damian Lillard, and Jaylen Brown. And again, there might be some point bias, but Halliburton did make a show though. I mean, like we're talking about all the crazy passing assists, even the Jason Williams white chocolate off the elbow.
Oh, I like that.
That was pretty cool.
That was really cool. I really thought that was really cool. But yeah, I mean, honestly, not too bad about Lillard, but I think Jaylen Brown's up there though.
They need to make an incentive to this game, something that they can lose to make it competitive.
I think what the NBA with these NBA All Stars need is some sort of humiliation. I think for them to be humbled, because I think they're on their high horse. I think I would propose this, because if they say they're the top they are, then I would suggest NBA All Stars versus the best of the best from the G League. The G Leaguers can prove.
Yeah.
Listen. The G Leaguers can prove that they deserve to be at the highest level of the NBA against the top tier players, and then they can showboat their skills. And they're gonna try hard to show all the other teams that, hey, I deserve to be on the team. And then watch, they're gonna play intensive defense, and then they're gonna make the NBA All Stars look like scrubs because of how hard they're gonna be playing.
Yeah, but what I would say to that, they're kind of already doing that with the Rising Stars Challenge, though.
Yeah.
Which the G League did win against the Rising Stars sophomores in Alabama, which to me was just ridiculous to even see.
That's against rookies, though. I want to see them against the best of the best. Show what you can do against them, because when you're in the NBA, you're playing the best of the best every game.
He wants to see McClung guard LeBron James.
I want to see everything. It's the damn All-Star game. It's the All-Star break. Show me what you got. I want to see it. I don't want to see nobody guarding you for 20 feet and you just pull up from a three. No, bro, drive that in. Give me a poster, bro.
Oh, actually, you know what I would say, hot take? The Rising Stars Challenge has been the best part of the All-Star weekend for the past 3 years.
You know what? I don't think that's a hot take. I kind of agree with that.
I prefer the 3-point contest. I prefer the 3-point contest because I just like watching the people shoot threes.
No, but what has been the most entertaining?
For sure the rookies.
Yeah.
100%.
I want to give Brandon the stage to talk about this, and it's something that is I love it. Florida Panthers right now.
Yep.
First of the Eastern Conference. They were losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning and came back and then absolutely annihilated them. And it felt great because after the last couple of years, I am so sick and tired of Tampa.
Bro.
Look, I'm telling you right now, the Panthers, they never left. They started off the season pretty okay. Then they got real quick hot.
Yep.
One of the best road teams in the entire league. I mean, we're talking about 11 straight road game wins where you have, I think it's close to an NHL record. I got to double check on that. But yeah, I mean, we're top of the Eastern Conference right now. I think we actually surpassed the Bruins by how many points is it looking like right now? It's looking to be might be 1 point. I'm not too positive. I have to double check on that. But yeah, I mean, for the Panthers themselves, they're only about 4 or so points away from the Canucks out in Vancouver for the top spot in the NHL. And believe it or not, only 2 All-Stars from this team. I mean, Tkachuk is having one of the better years, of course. Barkov is kind of taking a backseat, I would have to say, compared to him. But Sam Reinhart, one of the best centers out there in the NHL. And then Sergei Bobrovsky, the wall. Big Bob, the wall, man. The guy's been fanatic. But this Panthers team, I'm telling you right now, like, I'm not saying, again, because Stanley Cup last year, we were there. We won the East, right?
Yeah.
8th seed. Now we're the number 1 seed. So it's a different narrative.
Yeah.
And it's too soon to tell. Of course, we're way out from the playoffs, similar to the NBA schedule. I mean, we're about a few months away. But what I would say, I honestly do like our chances, though, especially in the East. I look at a lot of the teams that we can potentially play in that first round. And if you want to look at the Eastern Conference itself, I mean, the Sabres could be an option. The Sabres, no offense to Buffalo, they've been having an insane year compared to what I expected out of them. But, I mean, I just can't imagine this Panthers team losing a lot of games. I mean, they're playing some of the greatest hockey I can see recently. The head coach Maurice. I mean, he's been doing his job well. The fourth line, third line. I mean, the boys are buzzing on the ice. No stop there. This again, I understand Heat basketball. Dolphins having the best season they've had in a long time. For the Florida Panthers, this is a renaissance. Like the Miami Heat, LeBron. This is a renaissance Florida Panthers team. If people want to see great hockey, they got to go to Sunrise. This team is never gonna be like this in a very long time if they're not able to get it done this year.
Man, they have to, because last year, I mean, it was hurtful last year, man. Getting the finals in the NBA and then getting the Stanley Cup finals with the Panthers, and then lost to the Las Vegas Golden Knights, which is a juggernaut last year.
And then you got like sorts like Kachuk, like dealing with like, oh, I got a broken hip, I got a broken lower body. Like guys were like going around with broken bones on the ice and just getting demolished, man. And honestly, I'm not saying we haven't had any injury scares this season, but for the Panthers, this is probably one of the more healthier teams I would have to say in the Eastern Conference right now.
So we have a question here. Hey guys, I'm not into sports, but I'm curious on what makes you guys like them. So sports, talking about sports. Well, I mean, I'll answer the question first because obviously I'm obsessed with sports. I just think it's that as human beings, that competitive drive that you have inside yourself, it's just entertainment. Because really, like, yes, it's a real thing. Sports is a real thing, but it's also entertainment. There's nothing better, at least for me, sitting down, whether it's a Sunday, NFL Sunday, and watching teams compete and just the athleticism, seeing what these guys can do with their talent. I think for me, that excites me the most. And whether it's, NBA or soccer, just a competitive drive and just seeing what the athletes can do with their talent and just stuff you just sitting there makes you excited and sit, oh man, like, today, so-and-so is playing, gets you excited for that time of the day. And also it's a good time to I would say escape the real world and just focusing a little bit on sports and kind of de-stress. So that's my answer.
Brandon.
Well, I mean, for me, I mean, of course, Danny knows this as well, but I mean, for us, we, do a lot of things covering the sports. Yep. And so from broadcasting, writing, Jonka does a lot of writing himself as well, and coverage. Like the biggest thing for me and the reason why I really love sports is just the storylines, right? I mean, we're talking about like athletes and just regular people. Yeah. To start off like us and they end up doing these miraculous things on the court, on the field. I mean, and you're able to like kind of follow this person grow. And, there's always going to be different names in the NBA every single 5 years. There's always going to be different names in the NFL every 5 years. But it's not really like what's the back of the jersey that makes the number. Like it's the fact that like that person making that type of story. Like you look at, for example, like, I'll use one, right? Luka Doncic, right? Number 77. No one really knows him coming out of Real Madrid, MVP in the EuroLeague at 13 years old. And then coming here and it's kind of changing that culture in Dallas again. I mean, there's just so many things in sports where, like, you can't look at a TV show and be like, oh, let me binge watch the same episode 15,000 times. Mm-hmm. Man, let me tell you right now, every single NFL Sunday, there's a different new episode, different new movie, different new storyline. I mean, even in culture, like Taylor Swift in sports, like, it doesn't really get any bigger than that. You know what I mean? So I just love, sports for the fact I'm, able to see these stories, learn about these incredible people. And let alone for what we're doing right now, especially here in Plug Talk Sports, is just, be able to tell about those stories. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about.
There's a reason why when someone like Kobe Bryant passes away, why it impacted the world and people. Not even sometimes it impacted people that didn't even like watch basketball. They just knew who Kobe Bryant was and what he represented, the human being that he was, and it impacted them. That's what sports brings.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's sharing the moments with your friends, your family, or just maybe yourself if you would like to watch it yourself. And also like you have your favorite teams. Mine's the Hurricanes, Daniel's Cowboys, Brandon's Gators, and Panthers or Celtics. You follow your teams everywhere they go. You read every news article. every tweet, every single notification you get, you just want to, you're just engulfed in it, and you just want to see your team prosper and get the championship or the title or whatever it is. And then also watching the games when you don't know the outcome of the game makes it so much better.
Unless you're Roger Goodell.
Oh yeah, true that. When you're able to control the outcome, it's How would you say sports has impacted your life and
what made you start this podcast? So we're gonna deviate. We'll answer these questions.
Yeah.
How would you say sports impacted your life, and what made you start this podcast? So I'll go first. How would you say sports has impacted your life? Again, I would say for myself, I'm a pretty competitive person in a healthy way. I grew up playing sports. From baseball to basketball, soccer, football. I loved all of them. And I think when you play a team game, yeah, it's just a sport, but I think those lessons that you learn in a team sport can really help you be a leader and be a good teammate in real life, whether it's in a job or just in a family unit, or just with friends. I think that really helps. And what made me start this podcast? Honestly, this is the career field that I was heading into when I was in college. And I was like, I want to have something that is my own, and something that I can build and I can share with people. And I thought I created it in 2018. And from there on out, it's just kept building and growing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's have some answers to that.
No, yeah. Again, I didn't create the podcast, but what I would say, in sense of impact my life, kind of impacted, a career path for me. You know what I mean? Like, again, for a lot of us, we grew up watching sports or even playing sports. For myself, I ran track and field. I played basketball young in leagues. But and the whole part of it is just like it impacted because like it's just a grip. You know what I mean? Like I remember making good friends just talking about NBA basketball, having discussions in classrooms of just being able to go out to a court and just playing basketball with complete strangers and finding connection there.
Yeah.
So it's that type of impact where it's just those small things that makes connections and then it leads to a career like right now.
Yeah, 100%. Jonka?
For me, sports, I grew up, with a household that my dad likes baseball and football and stuff. And then my grandfather likes baseball and whichever the team is winning at the moment. So, and also I feel like me, Brandon, and Daniel, I don't know, I don't want to generalize, but I feel like we come from the best era where we don't keep participation trophies. We go for dubs here.
Yep.
So we're not this new era, the soft era, which I like to call. So I feel like I take that into sports a lot. So I like W's. Obviously I'm not a sore loser, but like I always say, and I'm the anime guy, but like I sent Daniel the other day, Vegeta, he says surrender is an outcome far worse than defeat. So take that as you will. Losing is okay, but what you make of it is what makes
It's how you progress.
Yeah, man. Seriously, and besides, I was never into soccer, to be honest. And then I watched the World Cup in 2010 when Spain won, and then that same year I met Daniel in 7th grade in Miss Rodriguez's class, and then the rest is history. And then we ended up playing at Real Madrid next to FIU, the
academy.
Yeah, it was really really cool. And then
do you guys have a preferred sport over another, or just sports in general? Is this the only place to find you guys? If not, will there be plans for a Spotify podcast? Okay, so first part of your question, I love sports in general, but everyone that knows me knows soccer has my heart. So soccer for sure. And before the guys go to answer the second part of your question, you can find us on Twitter, or X as it's called now. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitch, as that's how you're reaching out to us right now. But yes, the show will be on X, on Twitch, and live streams on YouTube as well. And you can see all of our past episodes there on YouTube.
Oh yeah, and again for the YouTube one, that'll be all visual too.
Yeah, yep.
So they'll be seeing our live reactions. But for the first part of the question, do I prefer sport? Honestly, for me, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone that's watched this podcast before, for me, it's got to be basketball over everything. There's just something, and again, this is just for me growing up in a gym, right? Like the sound of basketball, able to see runs, just going. I'll just go out of my way as the Wi-Fi ticks on, but I would just go out of my way just to even look out for like YouTube videos of just like, California runs or Summer League, Miami Summer League, Pro League and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a class to it. I mean, even though there might be a little bit of like misinterpretation the way you also watch the game. I mean, ball handling is almost like magic magicians. There's a lot of elegance to it, but as well, a lot of physicality needed for a basketball player to be able to even perform against, the heavy hitters down there in the painted area or whether that be beyond the perimeter. I mean, it's all a mind game. And I mean, that's every single sport. But yeah. I mean, I can go hours for hours about basketball, honestly. I mean, every single era, time period, player. But I mean, there's just no other sport for me like it. I mean, the way the crowd goes internationally, the game has grown. I mean, it's a game that's never going to get old, and it shouldn't get old.
I actually don't know what Jonka's going to pick. I'm kind of curious.
I know. I'm struggling. Damn. Because I was thinking, man, I think it's going to be football. But then I'm like, I really do like basketball when it's like when everybody's making their shots and it gets really hyped in that moment. Yeah. Man. Because it's tough. There's college basketball and then there's college football. And it's like, which one would I prefer to watch? Oh, man, I watch everything technically, but I'm going to have to say football, including college football, because I like the recruiting aspect of it and just seeing where all the high school recruits from South Florida go to play, and if you follow them as their career progresses. Mm-hmm. So that's really fun for me. So yeah,
we've been thankful we've been actually able to meet some of them.
Yep, I was able to get for Daniel Malik Rozier, the former quarterback for UM.
Larry Kingsler.
Larry Kingsler, yeah, from FIU. I don't know who else, but we're in the process. We're in the process of more. Just stay with us. And
let us cook. Let us cook.
Yeah, let us cook.
Let's see. I may not be into sports myself, but seeing how it made you guys grow together as a channel and just as people is great. And I hope the best for you guys in your future endeavors. Thank you for taking time to answer my questions. Oh, of course, we appreciate you asking these questions. Like, even though we may have a rundown, we may have, our plans to talk about our sports, but whenever there's someone like yourself that comes into the channel and just asks these questions about just ourselves and our channel and what we're about at Plug Talk Sports, we really appreciate it. We really appreciate taking the time to answer questions, for people that tune in and view our episodes, whether it's about questions about sports or it's just questions about getting to know us and just how we got into this and why we love this. So really appreciate you asking those questions. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that, but
thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anyways, I wanted to get into, we talked about the Panthers. Yep. I wanted to get into the Marlins a little bit here in the last 10 minutes of the show. The Marlins lose probably their best player in Jorge Soler. They did make an offer for Tim Anderson. That's not official. Like, they did make an offer, but signing him is not official. There's no traction of whether he's interested in the offer. Haven't heard anything since then. But, again, another situation where the Marlins lose their best player again.
I don't know how it's possible that a fish takes away words from my mouth. like seriously, it feels like I'm outside, but I'm underwater still. Like, I don't understand this team. Oh my god! Listen, you lose your best pitcher. Jazz with the whole thing, Bob, with the Marlins, that's already messing with the chemistry. And now you lose,
And that's messing his relationship with the team.
Yep.
and now you lose Soler, which I think he was your leading home run hitter.
Yep.
So now your offense is taking a hit, and your defense because of Alcantara. Listen, the more I talk about this damn team, the more it just gives me flashbacks to FanFest
Yeah.
and how the damn manager was. Bro, my hands are up, bro. My hands
Take
are
your
up.
time. Take your time.
My God. I don't
Therapy
know.
is an option.
Like, how does the damn team not have any money to get anybody? Like, at least make an offer. Blake Snell has yet to sign with a team. He just won the Cy Young Award, and yet he has no team. The only team that has offered has been the Yankees for 150 million for 6 years. He declined that.
Hey, still Cody Bellinger. I mean, he's supposedly going to Philadelphia, but it hasn't been
We
official.
haven't. That's been like 2 weeks already, and there hasn't been any traction
Yeah.
from what I've seen. So make an offer for Cody. Like, do something to make this team better. If Tim Anderson didn't work out, that's fine. Whatever. Next day. But keep trying. Like, at least put your name in the damn voting box.
Bro.
Bro, seriously, like, you're in the voting booth, put your name down and just leave. Like, maybe you don't know. It's Miami. Who doesn't want to play for the city of Miami? And if you can't get anybody, you've got players from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Japan. Bro, I don't understand. You can pay a minimum because they're just starting out. And if you want to be a cheap team, be a cheap team. But just don't be the A's. That's all I can say. Don't be the A's. Please. Please. Because you can't compare Oakland to Miami. Don't do it.
Well, they're getting Vegas, so I mean,
I know,
Yeah.
and apparently now with the Vegas A's, the mayor of Las Vegas has said that the plans for the park do not make sense. So he's saying it might not happen. He might decline it.
I don't know. A city out in the desert doesn't make sense either. But But yeah, I mean, I totally agree with Jonka's statement right there. For the Marlins, and especially for Miami, I understand if there's a team that's like, you're bottom of the league or even your division, like you shouldn't even be considering making moves and just think of rebuilding to the farm system. This is no farm system team. This is a playoff Miami Marlin team that had like a Sandy. I mean, again, Sandy Alcantara. If it wasn't for Tommy John, all that stuff, I mean, the Cy Young winner would have been back, and this Marlins team would have been better than ever, right? So who knows exactly what this team's going to bring. But Soler, Cuban Power, I mean, the guy was just right there in his wheelbarrow right there in Miami. To see him leave like that, basically walk out of the Marlins,
yeah.
it's a terrible thing to see. Tim Anderson, would love to see that connection as well with that of Jazz coming back, and hopefully Jazz comes back with the Marlins sooner than later. Things rehash. But, yeah, I mean, again, totally agree with Jonka. I mean, on the eye. I mean, there's just no other way to explain it. There's just a team in Miami that has the facilities, has the momentum building from last season, from a GM that is no longer with us, unfortunately. And then now we have a new front office that is just struggling to even pick up the pace. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's more of a front office thing than it is anything else.
I blame the owner. He's being a cheap bastard. You can't put it any other way. He doesn't want to spend money. For you to compete, you need to spend. I'm not asking you to be the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Red Sox or any team like that. At least be middle of the pack. Don't be the bottom. Because if you can just afford 2 or 3 more players that can give you good production, like Arias or Soler or Jazz Chisholm, maybe you find a diamond in the rough, and everybody just overlooked him, and he can give you good innings. Hey, I'll take that. Maybe he can be your star player for the team, and you get some more jersey sales or something to give you more money since you're being cheap.
I just want to say I'm laughing. The reason why I'm laughing is that is what I'm about to say. You know how serious Cubans take their baseball,
Bro.
and I'll say it in English, but I heard this Cuban the other day saying that the Marlins owner has a disease. I'm like wondering, like, disease? Like, he's sick? And I was generally concerned. I'm like, this guy's sick. He's like, no, he's got a disease in his hand. This guy puts his hand up. He starts shaking his hand. He's like, he's got a disease in his hand that he can't reach into his pocket to get his wallet. I'm like, oh my God.
Bro, like, sell the team to somebody that actually has money to spend. Jeff Bezos just moved down to Miami. Sell it to him, and then let him hire a manager or somebody to run the damn team.
You know what?
He has money. Somebody that has money.
At this point, I'm sorry, I forgot the guy's name already, but the guy from Miami that owns a part of Inter Miami.
Jorge Mas.
Maz is the bit, again, besides Pat Riley, the one owner or executive in South Florida sports that is straight up South Florida.
He is.
The culture, the idea what South Florida is, sell it to him. He will take that thing. Maybe they might do a soccer/baseball type of ballpark, little Joe Robbie, old-fashioned stuff. But I'm telling you, man, we got to get a local guy to own this team, man. And I mean local. I mean not Biscayne Boulevard local.
Bro, get Rick Ross to own the team. He's local.
Get like a huge investor pool. I don't care who the investors are. Just make them have them the agenda to make this team better, because this team can be really good. They just made the playoffs. They didn't do well, but they made the playoffs. That shows some sort of trajectory up forwards, and whatever. But seriously, I don't understand what the problem is with this owner. But if I see him in the street, I'm gonna call him out. Straight up. If he walks into my restaurant, I'm kicking him out. Straight up. I'm calling my mom or whatever it is. I'm saying, "Oye, that guy, you see him, this picture? Don't let him in. Don't even let him order."
Final thing I want to talk about before the show ends tonight is UFC 298. Ilya Topuria, he's Georgian, also Spanish, became the featherweight champion, defeated Alexander Volkanovski, knocking him out. Hey, man, it was nice. It was nice. And then he calls Conor McGregor out and says, if you still have the balls, come step in the octagon and fight me. And classic McGregor response was, I still have both of them. I had 4 kids. But Topuria, man, look, I think in the UFC, we've said before that if you go into a title fight, you're not winning that title in a decision. The only way you're going to win the title in a title fight in the UFC is if you knock out the champion. And he did it. And I think it shocked a lot of people. And Topuria is going to continue to be undefeated at 15-0.
Yeah, I mean, let alone the first round. I mean, and, for me personally, I have nothing for both of the fighters, right? I mean, for the man down under, Volk, I just came into this one cocky as hell. I mean, to the presser as an old man, sleeping midway, gets his belt stolen, I think during the presser too as well. I'm not saying, I'm going to say this one way. It's giving Apollo Creed, right? It's giving, I think I'm better than this guy. This is just going to be a exhibition bout. You know what I mean? He just wasn't prepared for it. He undermined his competition, and he got knocked out. I mean, excuse my language. He got the shit knocked out of him. You know what I mean? Backhanded back to the world down under, being that of Australia, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the whole McGregor news, I mean, I still want to see McGregor fight, at least first.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. With that, that's going to close us off tonight. We thank you guys for joining in episode 128 on this President's Day edition. We'll be back next week for episode 129. Again, we appreciate you guys tuning in and watching us week in, week out. Stay tuned to all of our social media for updates and content. We hope you guys have a great rest of your week and have a good night.